Alright, in this video we're going to be redecking a 30+ year old deck frame with TREX Enhance Naturals toasted sand decking with a Cinnamon Cove picture frame. In many instances, a 30-year-old deck frame is going to be completely shot and it's going to require a complete rebuild from the footers up. And when you consider that some of these composite deck boards can be warranted for up to 50 years, it doesn't really make sense to redeck over an old frame. But this frame was in surprisingly good shape and only required minimal repairs. According to the homeowner, this deck was redecked about 10 years ago and had this octagonal platform framed up in the corner. It was interesting to see the quality of the wood years later, comparing the original frame to the alterations that were done 10 years ago. Prior to 2004, a lot of this wood was treated with an arsenic in it. The arsenic was really tough on rot, but I guess tough on carpenters too. So it's been reformulated a couple times and it just does not last as long. We were squaring the deck off and turning it into a 20 by 28 rectangle. So getting rid of the platform, we had to replace about 7 joists on the end. We also added another ply to the beam. We added another row of blocking and we replaced a 4x4 post with 6x6. Some additional flat blocking and joists for our picture framing and breaker boards. And then in this area here where they had an access for their septic tank, we added 2 more posts and we strengthened up their headers. Just a little bit of insurance to help prevent sagging in the future. Here I'm going ahead and installing our 4x4 post, which will be covered up by our TREX post sleeves. We blocked them in and then we nailed the shnikes out of them. I'll mess around, put a whole sleeve in that bed. I'll shoot this joint until it catches fire. We do always block them in and lag them in. Tyler and Alex will come behind me after I get them installed where I want them, and they'll make sure they're plumb before putting their lags in there. Now we'll install the second ply of our double rim joist. And this is where I yell to Tyler, ready? Up, 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 up. Up, up, up. Okay, down, down, up, up, up. All of our rim joists will be sewed together with 3-inch lags all the way around. Then we begin the process of installing the deck boards. Along our picture frame blocking, I'll have a mark for the center. We'll butt all these boards up to the center, and then once they're installed, I'll snap chalk lines and I will run my saw straight down the middle on both sides, and then we can drop in our breaker board. And that can be a very expensive mistake if done wrong. I do recommend using a track saw, but if not, then you can use something like a 16-foot aluminum screed board. You can use a straight edge, 8 or 10-foot level, whatever you want.
Okay.
This is how we do it on a Friday night.
This was the first time we used Cinnamon Cove as a border with toasted sand, and I just think it's a great color combination. Now I'm marking right underneath the post so I can put on a vertical deck board to break up the fascia. It leaves no joints and I think it just looks really nice. It's just some little detail that really we had fun with and just tried to do something unique and cool. Here I'm just using a scrap piece of wood as a third hand. I'm screwing this up under one end of the fascia so it can hold up one end while my other 2 hands install the other side. Little stuff like this and having a good set of clamps always make a job go so much easier. I'm doing it on both sides, and then I'm also screwing this in right on my line because that's exactly where I want my fascia to butt up to. I'm going to hook my tape measure right on this screw and measure from that line there all the way over to here, and that's going to be the length of my fascia. This next tip was given to me by my friend Don at Nath Carpentry. You tear that sticker off your Stanley Fat Max and hit it with some sandpaper, and now you have a nice little notepad to write your numbers on. And if you have a bad memory like I do, this is great. but you just want a little bit of sandpaper to hit that, give it a little bit of, rough texture. Then you can write and erase on here all day long. Look, see, I forgot that measurement that quick. What the hell is wrong with me? Measure once, cuss twice, something like that. All of these screw holes will eventually get plugged with color matching plugs. Usually buy a couple packs in the beginning of the job, but later in the video I'll show you how to make your own plugs. All you're going to need is a 1/4 inch plug cutter bit, and at the end of the job, if you only need 10 more plugs, you don't want to have to order another pack or go to the store and get another pack. You just cut 10 yourself and be done with it. I don't think we would ever get to a point where we cut all of the plugs we need just because of how much time it takes. But if you got some time to kill before they arrive and you want to install some of them, or you're at the end and you need a few more, it's definitely a handy thing to know how to do. Now to fabricate the trim piece that's going to be covering up our fascia, I have to set the router bit to the thickness of the fascia, and then router out the back of this deck board. Now to rip these deck boards down the center for our breaker board. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Take your time, measure this 3 times, double check it, triple check it. If you mess this one up, it's an awfully expensive cut. You can also do things like, add a second breaker board or a double picture frame board, but that's going to be expensive as well. It's not as bad as having to replace every board, but take your time with this. This is not the most DIY friendly, beginner friendly task in a deck build at all. A track saw would be highly recommended for this. You gotta set your blade to the correct depth as to not cut all the way through and then cut through your tape, or else what the hell's the point of it? But it wouldn't be the first time we have, and you just have to go back and add some more tape. But definitely set your blade to just being a hair less deep than the deck board, and just come through and clean them up with this, or smack them with a hammer, whatever you do. But you just don't want to cut through and cut your tape, or even worse, cut through your blocking. This is just the most satisfying part for me. No part of a deck build besides getting that last check feels better than this part right here. Just love it. Here I'm just routering out a little recessed groove for these handles to fit in. This is for the trap door. It's just going to sit right on top of some additional framing members, and then they can just lift this right out of the deck. It'll sit flush. The deck boards run continuously through. We laid them across and cut it out afterwards so it would blend in nicely. And now here's our friend Paul from TKO Electrical wiring up our lights. Alright, this is how to make your own composite deck plugs in 2 easy steps. You're going to need some scrap decking, and then you're going to need a 1/4 inch plug cutter. You can order them off of Amazon, or you could try your local hardware store. Step 1, rip your piece of scrap decking down to about 1/8 inch to 1/4 inch. Regardless, when you go to install these, if you want them to sit flush, you're going to have to use your teeth to nibble off the back end of these, or use your razor blade to trim it down. Step 2, drill out your plug. Don't drill it from the finished side or you'll melt it and mess it up. It's got to be done from the back. I've tried different speeds and this is the only way it really comes out nice. You're gonna have to clean it up a little bit with your fingernail. It's usually nothing too crazy. If you have a drill press, it would come out a lot better. But in a pinch, this will do you just fine. For our railings, we're installing TREX Select T-rail. Quick tip here for code compliance, if you use a chunk of 2x4 on its side and set your bottom rail on top of it as a spacer, that's 3.5 inches from top of decking to the bottom of bottom rail. And every time you'll end up with over 36 inches for your top rail. So once you've got your two pieces of 2x4 stood on their sides, set your bottom rail on there and start spacing out your balusters. Here you can see Tyler using his square and his measuring tape to equally space the distance between his balusters and his posts. Once you have them equally spaced, go ahead and transfer your line over to your bottom rail and make your cut. Once you bring your railing section back over and confirm that it fits correctly, then you can go ahead and flip your bottom rail over to install your brackets. Pre-drilling is going to be absolutely crucial when you're installing these railing sections. If you don't and that screw travels a little bit while you install it, it can push the clip over and that'll push your railing out, leaving an unsightly gap between your railing and post. This can also push your balusters out of plumb. And if your balusters are out of plumb, then your customer is going to be sad. And sad spelled backwards is das, and das not good. Once your clips are installed, flip your rail back over and secure it to the center of your post using your square to keep it untwisted and flat. Once you've installed your bottom rail, go ahead and place a baluster in the two far ends. Then install the top rail on the outside of the post, so it's not going to be perfectly plumb in that direction, but you can plumb it up left to right this way. I use a clamp on one side and then just check my balusters, shimmying it over as I need to until I get that bubble right into the center. Once you get your baluster plumb left to right, then go ahead and take your pencil and mark your rail. I should mention that for your bottom rail, when you're going to mark that, instead of sitting it on 2x4s for your steps, what TREX recommends you do is take a deck board and lay that across the treads. If you lay a deck board across the treads at 1 inch thick and then lay your bottom rail across those treads, then according to TREX installation manual, that will keep your top rail within code. But for a level rail, we use 2x4. For the steps, use a deck board across the treads. Remember to keep checking railing height with your tape measure and to keep using your level to make sure everything is level across. These tips are great. Using the 2x4s at the bottom, it's consistently proven to be helpful for us, but at the end of the day, solely you are responsible for the success of your project and staying within code. Hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope it's been helpful to you on some level. Subscribe to our channel if you'd like to keep up to date with what we're working on, as I'll continue to upload videos throughout the week. And if you're located near Delaware County, Pennsylvania, and you would like a free quote, give us a call or text at 484-477-6466. Turned up, dude. He wants a piece of you.
It's way bigger than the deers I see out back in my house.
Pretty worn, Alex and Tyler.